Hey guys, Tom here, and that's right, he's not here. He'll be here in a minute though, promise. So sorry we missed a week, but I wasn't kidding you, man. I was burned out and needed to take a week off from thinking anything about these cars and working on them. So we did. We took pretty much the week off. I mean, if I'm being honest, we did a little bit, but for the most part, we took it off. And it was well needed, much deserved, and we appreciated it, I think. Declan's been driving the car back and forth to school, and for the most part, things have been going great with it. Just a couple little minor hiccups, which are sort of the normal things that will happen. I knocked a brake booster line off on him one morning when I was trying to adjust the TV cable. We fixed that. Otherwise, really, it's been smooth sailing. He's been driving the thing. It's going back and forth to school for him. It's working out fine. So here, what you're going to see is us getting the car ready for our first car show. So we got the car up on the road, running, going back and forth, inspected, getting it going to school and back for him, all checked off on that list. But the next thing we had to do is to make sure we got the thing actually cleaned up and looking presentable. It was still pretty gross. So it needed to get scrubbed down and it needed to get shined up. So that's what we did to it in this video, which you'll see upcoming. And then we actually took it out to our local show, to our Waters Farm Days, or Waters Farm Days? Waters Farm Days. I think that's what it is. Waters Farm is a local preservation society here in town, and they do an awesome job. Every year they have a big fundraiser event. It's a 2-day thing, and on the second day of that 2-day thing is the Bruce Nichols Memorial Car Show. And it's one of my favorite shows to go to. It's a sizable car show. There's always some really great cars that show up. And it's typically the last car show that I go to each year. It's just about the last one of the year that's held that I have any interest in going to. And it's going to be the first one that Declan drives to. And the first one that we're able to go to together. So I'm looking forward to that. He's kind of looking forward to that, even if he's not going to really admit it out loud. So you're going to see us getting prepped and ready to go to that. And I'll take you along for the ride while we're at that show too. So come on along and watch us get that ready.
Now, you might be thinking, looks clean already. You're not necessarily wrong. First off, everything looks better on video, so it always looks better when you're going to see it on camera here. But also, it's pretty rough. It's been sitting in the garage for a year since we washed it last. It needs a good hosing off at an absolute minimum. But it also really needs to get evened out. The differences between where the powder coat exists and where it doesn't are brutal. And overall, this really just needs some TLC and some attention. At least for now, just to get it a little bit better than where it's at today. So this is all Declan. This is time to get scrub-a-dubbing and getting dirty and getting cold and getting wet. I let him take the R on this one. Pretty simple. We always start off with the wheels first. Get a bucket going with some wheel cleaner in it. We use hot water because we're fortunate enough to have a hot water spigot coming out of the garage. But use some hot water for our own comfort to help wash those wheels off and get those tires washed. This is the first time that they're getting clean since we put them on there. We didn't really concern ourselves too much with preserving the clear coat that's on there. In fact, if I'm being honest, we experimented a little bit with seeing if we could feather out the clear coat and sort of smooth up the edges. Honestly, it's not going to work. There's way too many spots where the powder coat, the clear coat is interfacing with the direct paint. It's not just one or two spots, it's all over. The truth is, if we want to go and play that game, we're really going to have to sand the clear coat off the entire car. There's no way to get around that. And quite frankly, neither of us are in the mood to do that right now. So we're sort of shortcutting this thing right now, and we're just going to deal with it as it is. So we nicked that clear coat off where we could, where it's really flaking off. We just sort of took it off. But otherwise, we're really just worried about scrubbing this thing clean. And so in some of the spots where the dirt was really stubborn, we sort of hit it with a Scotch-Brite pad to get it clean and just dealt with the repercussions of that, because quite frankly, we really can't make this paint much worse. It needs a respray. So we're accepting of that and we're okay with it. And we're just trying to get this thing back to a place where it's looking kind of presentable, at least for the next several months or so. And let's cross our fingers and hope maybe we can get it resprayed before next spring, but we'll see.
We'll have a dead battery in the console. All right, important question. This is a debate that rages on and will rage on forever. What's your stance on tires and using tire wet? Tire shine. There's people who like the tires to just look stock. There's people who like to make them look sort of shiny. And there's people who like to make them look like they just painted them with clear coat.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not typically a fan of like super high gloss, but I like a good shine.
Yeah.
Alright. So there's two ways you can do it. One is you can just spray it on and let it sit. That will typically get it a little bit on the shinier side. The other way is you can put it on with an applicator, and that's usually a little bit dimmed down. Which one do you think you want?
Do the shiny.
Shiny? I use this goofy and ratty old thing because I'm too cheap to buy like the real plastic ones that people make. But what I do is I cover the wheel with this. This is a little bit bigger than your wheel, so kind of part of the wheel at a time. This stuff does not want to be in the actual wheel system of tires. So Declan has been skeptical of the paint. The paint on this car is shot. The clear coat is ruined and flaking off, so that has to get basically sanded off at some point. And the paint that has been unprotected by the clear coat is worn through. And I'll show you some pictures. You can see some still shots of that. It's shot. For those of you who are saying like it's savable, it's not. My bad, I haven't showed you real details of that, but it's pretty far gone, right? But even though it's in our plan to get this painted in the future, just to respray with the same bright red, we do want to try to make it look as presentable as we can now, right? And I think we're kind of just looking for a little bit more uniformity, because right now this thing looks like it has a skin condition. So what we're going to use is Shine Juice. So this comes out of Vice Grip Garage. This is basically an oil product, and you basically just wipe it on and wipe it off. So after you've got the car cleaned, you just want to go ahead and wipe this stuff on and be fairly, not liberal, the other word, conservative. Yeah. with this and not put too much on. So we're just going to try out a little section here, right on the piece that doesn't have any clear coat. They ship this with like a t-shirt rag that you can put this on with. You can just use like an applicator pad, which I think we have, so we'll probably use that once we do this like in the full Monty. But for right now, this works pretty good. This stuff will dry to a little bit more dull than this, but not a lot more. So what do you think, Declan? I think this is really, it's kind of making it pop, right?
Well, I can't really believe it until it dries, because it just looks like how it does when it's wet.
Right, but that's what I told. So Declan was making a joke that we're trying to go to a car show next week, and I said, well, as long as it's not raining. And he said, no, my car looks better in the rain because when it's wet, it actually kind of looks shiny. And I said, that's what the shine juice is going to make it look like.
Sure.
So what do you think? If it comes out looking anything like that, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And you can do multiple coats of it.
But
so,
it still has like vitiligo over here.
yeah, you're gonna have like, it's gonna save the patina. So the differences are still gonna be there, but it's gonna be one finish across the car. So that'll be the big difference. And then this is something we have to work on longer term to make sure that we can get this punched out. But I think that's pretty good. And this is something you can put on in the garage
Okay.
on a rainy day. It's pretty simple. You guys already know that I love RideID. The idea that all the information that I want to share with people about my car can be online in a place that I keep the pictures updated and I keep all the information updated at my own time, on my own time, without having to print out some crazy expensive sandwich board. It's awesome. But they've just upped the game. They just sent me some new stickers for Declan's car, which you guys know we have just put out on the road, and Declan's beside me watching right now. And they are color matched to go with his car. They're now making the RideID stickers, the scan tags, in several different colors. Check this out. So we now have a red RideID sticker to go with Declan's red car, which I think is just pretty cool because it's sort of understated, matches with the car, blends right in. It's just kind of perfect, right? Loving this. And you can go online and you can get these for yourself. And there's a multitude of different colors that are available. And from what I hear, you may even be able to get some color matched stickers in the future. Now, before you get carried away thinking that RideID is some big giant corporate sponsor of ours, they're really not. I have met Nate, who founded RideID, met him personally, hung out with him. He's a cool dude, and this is a great idea. So this is something that I am pushing pretty much from the goodness of my heart. And they took me up with some stickers, I'll be honest, but this is not some big corporate spiel where they reached out to me. This is just a company I believe in. So check out RideID for yourself. These guys are great. It's a really cool idea. And they are also offering this for a multitude of other vehicles now. So pretty much anything to get you from point A to point B, you can get a RideID for, which is really, really cool. Even if you're into other stuff like boats, planes, they've got you hooked up and they can get you set up there. And we do have a code where you'll be able to get a discount on your stickers and whatever. That's going to be up on the screen and you'll see it in the description below. Throw that code in and you'll be able to get yourself some discounts on the stuff straight from RideID's merchandise site. Check them out, give them a break, look at that stuff, give it a ride, give it a test. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. That's the before. That's what this was looking like before. And that's what it's looking like after with the shine juice on it. So I think when the whole car is looking like that, that's a step up. And you can see, this is a really good spot to show you how the paint, where it's not protected, has been worn through, and you get these little holes that have worn through the paint, so you can see the primer beneath, and that's just everywhere where this clear coat has chipped off. That's what you're seeing, is we're just getting these pockmark holes. So the whole thing really has to be sanded down to get it back down to one even finish before we can even think about doing anything longer term. But for now, this gets us a step better, and that one can is going to last a long time, because honestly this was just 2 dabs of that stuff on a t-shirt to get across here. So we could probably cover this whole car with a Dixie cup worth of this stuff, maybe less. We've got the shine juice applied to the Camaro, and honestly it's a pretty gigantic difference. This thing is now looking pretty awesome. Still gonna wipe it down, so it's gonna knock that shine down a little bit, but it does an impressive job. I think mostly what I'm impressed with here is the fact that it's actually done a really good job of taking something that was a very mismatched and uneven finish and turning it into something that's actually pretty even and pretty slick looking. So the whole thing, it's not like it fixes the car. It still needs a paint job. It's still rough. But compared to what it was, the before and afters, this thing is dramatically different. I think we could still do a lot more if we chose to. And make it look a lot better, even still from what it is now. If we just chose to maybe spray some touch-up paint on some of the areas where the paint is bare, maybe decided to sand this thing down and sand the clear coat off and get that even more even, I think it would look even better. But quite frankly, I think we're kind of putting the brakes on that for now, for the season, and just enjoy where it's at for now. Well, we made it. We're at our first show with the IROC and the Chevelle. Both here. Now it's time to take a walk around and see what we can find here. How's your first show so far?
Sorry,
Do you feel like an old man yet?
no, I mean, I've been called kid. It's fine.
He's getting a lot of reactions because he's probably the youngest person driving a car here. I don't think that's a stretch to say.
I don't think about it.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna take a walk around. This car belongs to Tony. This is a 1986 Grand Prix, and I've talked with Tony before. I know he's a local guy, and I've talked with him online before through some messages back and forth. But when he pulled into the car show, I just so happened to be standing there at the entrance to the show and happened to notice that he was wearing a Throwing Wrenches Garage sweatshirt, which happened to match the one that I was wearing. So we traded hellos, and he went and parked his car, and then we met up a little bit later and had a nice conversation. So Tony's a nice guy and a super fan, and he's running his own channel called Burnt Toast over on YouTube. So why don't you go over and take a look at his channel, and why don't you throw him a subscription if you don't mind. He's a good guy and deserves it. Why don't you give him a shot? All right, so that's a wrap. We're done. You're out. How did you enjoy your first car show?
It's nice. I didn't spend too much time in the car show. Like I saw all the cars, but I didn't like spend.
You didn't do the old man thing of like sitting in the back of the car.
No.
I actually didn't do that too much today either. I sat for a little bit, but I was walking around a bunch, chit-chatting with a bunch of people, a bunch, watching my hair do this and fly away a bunch. I promise it's real. That's not stapled to my head. But yeah, had a good time. I think it was a good show. Definitely got a bunch of attention on this car. We had a GoPro on the hood the whole time. So I can't wait to get back home and look at the GoPro and see if we can find if anybody said anything interesting about his car while we were here. I'm sure there's something in there, but we'll find out. So, all right, guys. This was a great event. If you are in the area at all, put this on your calendar for next year. It's always around the same time, one of the last weekends in October. It's the Waters Farm Days. This particular day, it's Sunday, it's the Bruce Nichols Memorial Classic and Car Show. It's a pretty awesome show. There's like tractor pulls, 4-H Club is here, there's like hay rides going on. This is one of those events that you can totally bring the whole family to, and everybody's gonna have some fun. It's not just a car show, so it's a good time. And Declan actually disappeared with his buddies for like most of it and had a good time aside from the cars. So come on out next year. But I think we had fun this time around, and your first car show was a success. And now he's bugging out, and I'm gonna hang because I am old. So, you know, there's that. All right, guys. That's a lot, but she's running.
Youngest driver here.
Wow, a lot of wiring, huh?
Oh, dude, you don't even know.
Oh my
You don't even
God.
know half of it. So I had to take out the ECM that was in this that was controlling the TPI motor. And with that, basically had to rewire this like an old school small block. So there's still the lighting harness is still, so half the harness is still working. But the other half of the harness I had to redo, basically.
You want to clean up these wires.
So there's
right
still
there,
a
Tom, right?
bunch of stuff hanging out.
You're going to clean these up because
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
want one of those things to just bounce around and then short out.
No,
and then
we're
you're
gonna-
chasing the wire.
He's
I've been
literally
there.
only been driving it for like a week.
Yeah.
So we're going to clean it all up.
Okay.
We're working it.
That's awesome, man. Good for him. Boys, it look good.
Are we
Looks
on
really
camera?
good.
Yeah. I set it up so I could get people's reactions.
See that little Y-shaped thing? It's a two-port injection intake manifold, but you got that about it.
Just a hood scoop like that. It should be out of the hood. But it's not.
What is that? A demon carburetor? No. Fuel injection?
Yeah.
And a light.
Is she here? Oh, we're rigged. We're going back to small spots. Oh.
Why are they telling the truth? It's a 1998 Chevy Camaro from Declan. Wow. My mom asked me. I said, "Do you know what Tom Walker looks like?" She said, "Does he look cool?" I said, "If he has sunglasses on, he looks cool. But if he doesn't, he still looks cool, just not as much."
Oh, you don't know if it's me?
Tom don't like the method. Is Tom the new lad? You have to have like a Tom Rat relationship. You have to have a Lewis and Rat relationship.
I could go and steam it.
You watch the 100 videos together.
Oh, Forward Renters Garage. It must be like one of those websites. Yeah. There's one on Facebook, Royal Garage. Oh, yeah, I've seen him. He talks about things. You know, I like him. I've seen him in his. Great. It's Royal Garage, and there's another one. The guy he's in New York. He does kind of the same thing. He gets the trouble with something. He does the whole. That's what he did. His opinion about. Yeah. I used to like him. No one knows him every other car.
So there you have it. Awesome day at Waters Farm. It was truly, truly a gorgeous, gorgeous fall day. Couldn't have asked for a more picture perfect day. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold, not a cloud in the sky. Lots of cars turned out. We really hadn't had any rain for the previous few days, so the field that we were parked in was fine. It wasn't muddy like it sometimes can be. It wasn't even that deeply rutted, so it was an awesome day all around, and we really got to have a good time and enjoy ourselves. Declan stayed for a while, got to meet up with a bunch of his buddies, and we both got to walk around together and see a bunch of those awesome cars that were there, and some of them really were truly amazing cars. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed seeing us at our first car show. We really liked being at that thing together. It was really cool to have him parked right next to us. Really cool to see everybody remarking about how young he was being there with that car and talking about the car. It was pretty awesome. So we really enjoyed it, really had a fun time. And now it's back to the grind. So we've got one more car event coming up. I've got a show, or not a show, but a cruise coming up next weekend with my car club with Nochi Chevelle. So I'll be doing that next weekend, and then it's time for winter gear up. And I think what we may end up doing is just doing a live show in the not too distant future, where we'll talk about the stuff that we have coming up that we're going to do over the winter, and some of the stuff that we've gone through and done all summer. I think it's probably time for a little question and answer for you guys to find out about what we've been doing and what we're doing in the future with these cars. But rest assured, we got lots of stuff to do to both of these cars over the winter. There's a long list of things that we're going to be doing to both of these cars over the winter to get them even better than what they are today and put them in better shape when they got out there in the spring. So there's no shortage of stuff to do, just a shortage of time to do it in, and usually a shortage of money to do it with. But we're getting on it. We will be doing some work to both of these cars, and that's going to be starting up soon. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe for the channel if you haven't already, and share the videos if you want. Do whatever. Leave a comment. I always answer the comments if I can. So thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on throwing wrenches.